Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something I find fascinating. Aphorisms. You know, those powerful, bite-sized pieces of wisdom? We're talking about the single sentences that can totally shift your perspective, guide your actions, and somehow pack a lifetime of experience into just a few words. So let's jump in and see how these insights can reshape our world. And I want you to just hold this question in your mind as we go. What if the biggest, most complex challenges we face, at work, in our own heads, with other people, what if they could be unlocked with the right key? A single, sharp insight. That's kind of the whole promise of what we're about to get into. So what exactly is an aphorism? Well, the official definition is a pithy observation that contains a general truth. Basically, it's a short, clever thought that's, true. I like to think of them as these little nuggets of wisdom, super condensed and potent. We're going to take a journey through a whole collection of them today, and we've structured it kind of like a path of personal growth.
All right, so where do we start? Well, we have to start at the foundation, right? This is the ground floor. This is where we learn, where we try to build things, and, maybe most importantly, where we will absolutely make mistakes. Welcome to the workshop of life.
And what's the first rule of the workshop? It's actually pretty simple. Listen. Larry King just nailed it with this one. You don't get smarter by broadcasting what you already think you know. Real learning? It starts with the humility to just close your mouth and open your ears.
Now, once we start actually doing things, we all have this ideal in our heads, don't we? We want perfection. We want to be precise, efficient. This aphorism captures that drive perfectly. Do it right the first time, or get ready to do it all over again. It's the craftsman's dream.
But, and this is a big but, here comes the reality check. While we're all aiming for that perfection, progress itself demands action, and action is messy. This right here shows that tension beautifully. You can't get better without doing something, and you can't do something without risking a mistake. So mistakes aren't a sign you're failing, they're proof that you're in the game.
So how do you actually navigate all this? Well, let's walk through what you might call the craftsman's way. You start with super careful prep. Plan 3 times, measure twice, make once. Then you get into the hands-on struggle, hammer to shape, file to fit, and then you hit that wall, where you're convinced the machine hates you and only wants to make scrap. And if you get through that, you finally arrive at the ultimate piece of wisdom: don't let perfect get in the way of done. It's the whole story of creation in 4 steps. Okay, so after you've wrestled with the external world of making stuff, the journey naturally turns inward, because you quickly figure out that the biggest challenges, the real battles, they're not with the materials or the machines. They're inside our own heads. This is the internal battle.
And man, Hemingway just sets the stage perfectly for this section. The point of all this isn't to be better than the next person. It's about being better than the person you were yesterday. That's the only measuring stick that matters. True growth is measured against your own past, not against anyone else's present.
And check these out. These are some seriously powerful mindset shifts. First up, anxiety is just ambition without action. That completely reframes that nervous energy. It turns it into a signal to just get moving. Next, for dealing with criticism, harsh feedback hurts less than harsh outcomes. Better to feel a little sting now than a lot of pain later. And for anyone who's ever been afraid to try something new, please remember this gem. Sucking at something is the first step towards being kind of good at something.
And this might be the most powerful mindset shift of them all. Churchill's metaphor is just beautiful. It teaches us to see adversity not as something holding us back, but as the very thing that gives us lift. Resistance, challenge, struggle, these aren't obstacles to our rise. They are the necessary conditions for it.
All right, so we've covered the world of making things and the inner world of the self. Now it's time to zoom out to the messy, complicated, and often tricky world of other people. Learning how to navigate this social landscape is the next critical stage of wisdom.
Here's a classic from the business world, but wow, does it reveal a deep truth about people. See, A players, the really excellent, confident people, they aren't threatened by talent. They surround themselves with more excellence. They hire other A players. But B players, the mediocre ones, they're insecure, and that insecurity makes them hire C players, so they can continue to feel superior. It's a scary reminder of how insecurity can just poison a whole group.
Okay, this next one is, it's blunt, but you can't deny the wisdom in it. It's the ultimate gut check for self-awareness. It's so easy to blame the world, right? To see jerks everywhere. But if you find that conflict and negativity seem to follow you around all day long, maybe, just maybe, it's time to look at the one common denominator in all those situations. And yeah, that's you.
And on the flip side, here's the antidote to so much of that interpersonal conflict: humility. Truman reminds us that our ego is so often the biggest thing standing in the way of getting something great done. When the mission is more important than who gets the glory, that's when real collaboration happens. And that's when amazing things become possible.
All right, for our last section, let's pull the lens way, way back, as far as it can go. We've gone from making things to mastering our own minds to navigating our social world. Now we're going to look at the whole tapestry and reflect on life from a much broader, more philosophical perspective.
Man, what a beautiful metaphor for the choices we make. The normal path, the paved road, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's predictable. But this aphorism really makes you stop and ask, what are you giving up for all that comfort? The unexpected beauty, the surprising moments of growth, the wildflowers. They only grow off the beaten path.
And that brings us here, to what might just be the most profound insight of this entire journey. We all have parts of our past we regret, right? The mistakes, the embarrassing moments, the messy threads. And it's so tempting to want to just pluck them out, wish they never happened. But this quote reveals a deeper truth. Every single thread, even the ones we're not proud of, is woven into the person we are today. If you pull on one of those threads, the whole thing unravels. It's just a radical, powerful call for accepting your whole self.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question. We've looked at this whole tapestry woven from dozens of wise threads about work, our minds, other people, and life itself. Of all these threads, which one really resonated with you? Which piece of wisdom are you going to pick up and follow into your own life? Because that's the whole point, right? Finding the one you'll carry with you. Thanks so much for joining me.